Good morning. So I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the biographical series of the Game of Thrones. And also, of course, I have the plans to continue today. Maybe widening our horizons, venturing into distant adventures, maybe in South America, maybe in Southeast Asia, but probably I'll do like a recap of the United States adventures. Even though I spoke about these issues in the past, but not like in a monographic fashion and not encompassing everything. So this will probably be something that I'll speak about, and I'll also speak about I don't know if today, but I mean hopefully every day I pray to God that I'll be rescued from the Nazi prison, but at some point I'll speak about Bright Source Energy and maybe also my heritage and Hermetic, even though it should be said that I spoke about the Hermetic quite a bit in the past and also about my heritage, and I don't feel like these are trash cans. Should be just wiped, complete wipe, just a complete wipe, both my heritage and Hermetic. But and I've spoken about them in the past, and there is actually an interesting thing to say about these two companies, especially from the political perspective and also from the biographical perspective of how did I understand things, how did I learn stuff, because I didn't work there for long, just together it was just 2 years, not that much, but I've learned a lot regarding my own my biography and also about the political situation. So it is of interest, but you can find it in other videos and other, even in textual form, like in the blog. So I don't know if it's terribly important to kind of reiterate it as part of, this political series, or biographical political series. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. I will probably speak a little bit about Bright Source Energy, because I actually didn't speak about my time in there, even though it was the most, by far, it was much longer actually than the other two that I mentioned. And it's also related to some extent to my times in the United States, because two of my three times that three trips to the United States were actually, business trips. From in the broad sense, under Bright Source Energy. So maybe I speak about it as well, because this is actually relatively something that I did not speak about. I did not cover much. I truly hope that I have no way to know, but I really hope that what happened during this night is a retaliation of some kind of another nation, a strong nation against Israel. I don't have any way to know if it's true or not, but I really hope this is the situation. Most certainly not the United States, because they are Satans and they are doomed to destruction. But maybe Russia, I don't know. Some say the Russians took part in the in the original attack that started this war 3 months ago. If it is so, then yes, these are the kind of things that that nations, in case they actually did it, I have no idea, but if they did, it should be said that this is exactly the things that nations that have any aspiration to survive should do. This is exactly this is the direction. If for any nation that aspires to survive in this world, because mountains and tongues will, absolutely guarantee zero survivors in this earth. The thrones, the cherubs, the spaceships, the wheels, they are all over the world right now. I mean, they are in position long ago. I mean, at least above Israel, and they're flying, and they're not going to stop. It's only going to get worse until you will be all fried by radiation. Not only the people that ate the teeth, these are, the worst offenders, as always, but everybody else as well. And I say it every day, but I should say it again. The fleet did not arrive to clean your trash can. לא באנו לנקות את הפח. לא באנו לנקות את הפח. אתם לא רואים פה פח. באף אחד מהציורים אתם לא רואים פה פח. You don't see a trash can. You see starships flying the air. Not only in these paintings that you see on these walls, but in many others of the same Titanomachy series that I have in the suitcase or in my mother's apartment. You don't see a trash can. You don't see a zombie. The Starfleet did not arrive to punish the zombie that misbehaves in the trash can. You don't see a trash can, you don't see a zombie. You do see the blue planet. You see the blue planet. The purpose of the Starfleet is to clean the blue planet, not the trash can. If humans would have wanted, they would have cleaned the trash can themselves. As it is proper. I mean, every person should clean his or her own trash can, not other aliens from abroad. It's not our business to clean your trash can. We clean the planet. We clean the mouse and the tongue, not the people with the mouse and the tongue. The torture our representative and his daughters without end. Torture, and only opening their mouths. Now, another thing that I should say regarding money. People stole unimaginable amount of money from me all my life. Tremendous amount of money. They only took and never gave me anything in return. Yet, I do not speak about money. I only say one thing. I demand to be rescued using force from the Nazi prison, me and my daughters, by a foreign power that will be dedicated and committed to an action with zero communication. Absolutely zero communication. No speech should be uttered at all during the entire rescue operation. This operation is not predicated and does not demand any kind of communication or cooperation with me. I am a prisoner of war in cruel prison under constant torture around the clock. I need to be rescued using arms and legs, using military forces that are trained in the usage of the arms and the legs, not in the usage of the mouths and the tongue. Any nation that would be committed to such an operation, while it's not guaranteed, but it's highly likely that they will also be committed to giving us shelter, because they already have stakes in the issue. So it will not be Israel again, with unbelievable amount of charades and theater show and torture without end. This is not guaranteed, but it's highly likely. And what's even more likely is that once they will see what's happened to Israel when we are out of Israel, they will have tremendous incentive to support us and to acknowledge us, and of course to see that nobody is torturing us. And the best way to do it is the Shogun assassin, the Shogun story. The first person that is told that transgress boundaries is chopped to salad. That's the only way to do it. And when I said, when you will see what happened to Israel, I mean Hiroshima every hour. Hiroshima every hour. This is the fate of Israel if people will get us out of here. If not, it's the entire earth. Money is meaningless when you are a slave that is tortured around the clock. And I've said it, and I've said it again. What bothered me for a long time is that how blind are the people the Gentiles, the people outside of Israel. How blind they were to simple reality that Israelis understand since 40 years ago. They understood since 40 years ago. It was always clear to the Israelis. And for some reason, I mean, people abroad, I mean, until this minute, do not understand it. And for the Israelis, it was obvious, like completely obvious just from the get-go. For 40 years ago, everybody understood it very well. The Israelis understood that this child, this baby, this child, it doesn't even matter, I mean, what kind of a person he will be when he grows up. He can be smart or stupid. He can be lazy or, I mean, you know, hardworking, beautiful or ugly. And, you know, friendly or sociopath. It doesn't matter. Either way, there are only two kind of possible fates for him, for this child. They understood it very well. Either he's going to be very rich and powerful, and even famous if he wanted to, and of course he will have, like, you know, a great family life if he just, I mean, wanted to. Or another option, the second fate or second possible outcome of this child is to be the lowest slave, the lowest possible slave that you can think of. The most disgusting rag that every piece of shit in society will, you know, put his or her boots on his face. These are the two options. The fact that they grew up to be not stupid and not ugly and not, you know, uncommunicative or any other kind of, like, you know, ridiculous notion means nothing for the Israelis, because they understood 40 years ago that it doesn't mean anything. Either way, the two options, I mean, that can be, I mean, the two outcomes that they knew that are possible 40 years ago are still the only two possible outcomes. And they all understood it very well. And of course, they did everything that they can in order that, I mean, the second choice will be my fate and my destiny. And I don't know, to that moment, people abroad, I mean, still, I mean, speaking about, you know, ridiculous stuff like, you know, I don't know, all this sort of, you know, like judicial system issues, like, you know, I don't know, the stolen wheel, or the stolen, you know, or the, you know, all sort of, like, legal issues, or, you know what I mean, and, or I don't know, like, you know, trade advices. And you ask yourself, I mean, are you that blind? You don't understand what's going on? The biological conditions of my birth dictates that either I will be very, 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 very rich, or I will be a slave. There is not another option. Either the canon is yours, and the canon is priceless, or the canon belongs to the state, and then it means that you are a slave. And since you are attached to the canon, there is no third option, because you were born attached to the canon. So either the canon is yours, as of course it's, I mean, rightfully yours because it's attached to you, it's you, and then you will be very, very rich because it's priceless, or it belongs to the state, and then it means that you also belong to the state, which means that you are the poorest slave possible. There is no any kind of a discussion regarding wills and, you know, and laws and, you know, personal, you know, מעמד אישי ומשמורת, כל השטויות האלה, זה הכל חרטוט אחד גדול. זה הכל חרטוט אחד גדול. הטבע שלי שווה סכומים בלתי נתפסים של כסף. אז או שהוא שלי, שכמובן כל אחד יש לו טיפה מוח מבין שזה ברור, מובן מאליו, לא צריך להסביר את זה, או שהוא של המדינה, ואז זה אומר שאני עבד מוחלט. אין אופציה שלישית פה. אין אופציה שלישית, זה או עבדות נוראית מהסוג הכי נורא שקיים, שהגוף שלך שייך למדינה, או שאתה מיליארדר. אין עוד אופציה. אני לא צריך להיות חכם, אני לא צריך להראות לכם, אני לא צריך לעשות לכם ביקורת ספרות וביקורת מקרא וסטנדאפים נחמדים כאלה או אחרים, וסיפורים יפים מהעבר וסיפורים יפים מהעתיד, ואגדות עם ואגדות חז"ל, ושיעורים במדע ושיעורים בפיזיקת חלקיקים, ושיעורים בקוסמולוגיה ושיעורים בארכיאולוגיה, וכמובן הכי חשוב, room temperature superconductors. All of that is incidental. I don't need to show anything to you because my biology dictates that I will be extremely rich or the lowest slave that you can possibly imagine. These were always the only two possible options. Always. And every person in Israel understood it 40 years ago. And by now, I think that every person in this world should also understand it. And again, the fleet arrived in order to clean the blue planet, not the trash can, not the trash can. We do not clean trash cans of humans. The blue planet. We arrived to clean the blue planet, the planet Earth, the third stone from the sun, not the trash can.